If you've never heard of Alex Hormozi, he's got a YouTube channel with about 3 million subscribers, Instagram 3.4 million, and another million on TikTok. It seemed like I started seeing clips of him all over on social media in vertical videos, YouTube, and more. Well, seeing how he accomplished that explosive growth can help you as either a solo creator, podcaster, or any kind of content creator. So here are 10 tips from Alex Hormozi that you can use in your content journey. Although one of his recommendations I actually disagree with. That's number 7. Stay tuned. Number 1 is shifting from how to how I. A lot of times, especially if you're in the education space like I am, you frame things as how to do this and that. But he says whatever your expertise is, no matter how small the niche, focus on the how I. Here's how I grew a YouTube channel, how I grew my podcast, how I make the best sourdough, or how I get a 10x return on investment. He shifted his messaging early on from how to grow a gym to how I grew my gym, which earned more credibility from those niche audiences. Number 2, earn trust by giving without asking. This is huge, and I talk about it all the time here on the channel. If you provide value to your audience, meaning giving them something, then they'll be likely to return, follow, subscribe, and be more invested in your content. Now, what does it mean to ask for something? Well, if you ask for them to subscribe to your newsletter, to follow your podcast, or if you're asking them to buy a digital product or course, that's all fine, but that needs to be a very small percentage of the content you put out there. Hormozi says give, 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 and then maybe get. By providing that value first before you ever make an ask is like building a trust capital with your audience. And like I've said in a recent video, the economy of trust, especially when it comes to online content creation, is a huge deal. Number 3, turn documentation into content. Maybe you don't have that expertise yet, or you haven't built that business or company yet to make content out of. Well, make content from the process. Now Alex can talk about all the things he has done, whether it's investments or building the business. But at the start, don't try to speak from expertise and experience until you have some. His methodology is do, then talk, then do bigger. So start doing that thing. Your content can be about the process, creation, and what you've learned, mistakes you've made. And that's a huge deal. A lot of times on YouTube, saying things to avoid or watch out for these bad habits, that really speaks to the human psychology part, and people will click and watch. Number 4, clickbait titles are fine if you prove them true. I've talked about packaging a lot right here on the channel, which are the thumbnails and titles of your videos, or if you're a podcaster, the title of your episodes. And a lot of times we avoid clickbaity sounding titles, but if you deliver on that title and the value you provide is commensurate with what they clicked on, thumbnail or title, then use it. Alex actually reframes the idea of clickbait as a big promise, and then uses the rest of his video or content to deliver on that promise with value. Number 5, you can learn faster what resonates with your audience when you have a large feedback loop. That means creating lots of content, putting it out there often, and seeing what works. It also allows you to experiment more, fail quickly, and then find something different that works. Now, he likely has a team helping him make all these clips and content, but if you're a solo creator like me, you can use AI tools to your advantage to generate this much content from a single recording. That's why I record my video podcast and other content in Riverside. Not only do I get high quality video and audio, so I can upload that full episode to YouTube and Spotify for creators, but I can use magic clips to generate dozens of vertical videos from a single recording in just a click. I can choose how long I want those clips to be, what speaker to focus on, and even type in a topic, and now I can create dozens of vertical videos from that single recording, allowing me to post often and everywhere and have that feedback loop. You can actually try Riverside for free right now by clicking that first link in the video description, start creating content, and repurposing it quickly. Number 6, Alex says to outsource quickly and that he only does about 7% of the work for creating his content. Now that's great if you can afford a team and editors and social media managers, but again, if you're a solo creator, use AI tools to your advantage. I did an entire video of my podcast process and how I go from recording to a fully published video podcast in just a couple hours. And the only way I can do that is using Riverside to edit. The AI tools that allow me to remove pauses, remove filler words, even do things like find fluff, which is superfluous content that Riverside will suggest I cut, plus tools like Magic Audio to make any microphone sound studio quality, and smart layouts, which will give me a multicam look, switching between the active speaker automatically. I've basically edited my long form episode in seconds using those AI tools. Plus magic clips, you can produce all that content as a solo creator and do it quickly. Now, number 7, Alex says to treat shorts as an ad for your long form content because that's really where you build relationships in long form. Now, his short form content still gets hundreds of thousands of views, sometimes millions, so what do you focus on, short or long? I would 100% repurpose your content using things like magic clips to post those shorts everywhere and often. But I would disagree a little bit because I have found when you create short form content specifically for short form platforms, it does better than just repurposing the long form. Mostly because just changing the format, which you can do with a single click here in Riverside, while you can now post this as a vertical video, this is not going to be as attention grabbing as many short form pieces of content needs to be. So I would suggest adding B-roll, which you can do here in Riverside, use those animated captions, and take advantage of all of those tools to make it as visually engaging as possible. That's going to help it perform better on those short form platforms. And then, like he says, I would link your short form to that long form content, whether it's telling them the name of the podcast somewhere in the short, or on YouTube, you can actually link to a long form video. You actually see that here. This is both on mobile and on desktop. And then someone can go and actually watch your long form. That's where a relationship is built, and you can build that trust between you and your audience. But number 8, I do agree. Build a personality-driven brand rather than niche-specific. When it comes to growing on YouTube and social media, you do need to niche down. Find a topic, something, again, that you have expertise in, or at least demonstrating your process, and stick to that. But now, he could talk about whatever, whether it's business, finance, ranking Super Bowl ads, fitness, relationships, and all of his content is going to perform well with his audience. That's because they are connected to him as a creator rather than just his niche. This also helps future-proof your channel, so as trends might change or maybe you lose interest in a topic, your audience will still be connected to you, and it also helps prevent burnout, because even if you're passionate about a topic, the content creation game is a treadmill, and it is ongoing forever. So being able to talk about different things and still get views and listens is a big deal. Number 9, use other people's platforms to explode your reach. Alex was on a lot of podcasts, especially early on as he was trying to grow his channels, and that's what you can do. Reach out, try to be a guest on other shows, have guests on your shows, and hopefully those audiences will cross-pollinate. Now remember, whatever podcast you go be a guest on or they're a guest on your show, make sure the niche does match so that the audience would be inclined to follow both or follow you if you're a guest somewhere else. But do reach out, be a guest on other shows, maybe do a feed swap where if you have a podcast, find another host where you record an episode together and then post that episode in both feeds, or vice versa. Post a 2-parter and post part 1 in one feed, part 2 in another. And number 10, when you're starting out and just starting to grow your audience, focus on that depth over width. We talked about being personality driven and branching into other niches later, but at the start, especially if you're in that growth phase, make sure you go deep. Go deep on a topic, find that niche, focus on that thing, and that's really going to help you jumpstart at the beginning of your growth journey. Now, to be fair, sometimes you can break those rules and still succeed. Like on my channel, I have videos about smart home, I have some videos about shortcuts, some are about the iPhone and operating system, some are about headphones, and I can still do relatively well because while my niche is technology, which is pretty broad, I really tried to be a personality-driven channel. I mean, I'm hopefully building trust when I talk about products, when I review things, and whatever I talk about, people will come to hear what I have to say about it, even if it's only tangentially related. So those are 10 tips from Alex Hormozi, but let me know what you think down in the comments. What is the best way to grow, or which were your favorite of the 10 tips? Or if you have any questions or other creators you think we should cover here on the channel, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to the Riverside channel right here and hit that like button before you go. And if you want to learn from Diary of a CEO, one of the most popular podcasts and one of the most successful video podcasts here on YouTube, check out this video right up here. Or if you're just getting started and maybe you're just looking for a USB microphone to get started, well, I reviewed 9 different mics and ranked my top 3, and one of them is under $50, and you can get started right up here. Thanks for watching. We can't wait to see what you create.